You can actually rest now, beautiful soul. And what happened next might surprise you. Sometimes the reason why things seems like they are not moving is because life is asking you to stop pushing. And that can feel uncomfortable and even frightening, especially when you are so used to solve everything through effort. And the mind comes in and say, yes, why are things not moving? It means that something is wrong. We need to do more. We need to fight more. We need to figure this out now and faster. And many people, I was one of them, misunderstand this moment. They think that slowing down is actually losing momentum. But sometimes, only sometimes, especially when you are doing all the work already, when you have those structures in place that allow you to have your consistency, sometimes taking a time to rest is giving life the opportunity to rearrange things in a way that you couldn't have it if you were just forcing things. And what comes next when life is rearranging things like that often surprises you. I've seen this in my own life more than once. The moment I stop trying to push everything mentally, I actually feel clarity return, my creativity returns. Some decision that seems heavy to make seems suddenly clearer, and opportunities appear. And every time it reminds me this: rest is actually not empty, it's not laziness. Something is actually happening there too. So we really need our rest as well as the inspired action that we are taking. For example, in my YouTube journey, slowing down meant doing one video per week and doing it in a way that I feel comfortable doing it and planning them in advance. Here is my experience. Rest reveals what effort was hiding. So when you decide to rest, hopefully not because of burnout, but because you feel and you understand that importance of balancing the rest and the action taking, sometimes it's not the clarity that will come first, but it's everything else that was hiding underneath the surface. Maybe emotions that you have been passing by and not taking care to feel them. Everything you were outrunning shows up. The decisions that you were postponing to make, or the thought that you were postponing, they actually show up. The tension that you were carrying inside because you thought that taking more action or doing more effort will solve everything, they actually come to the surface. And this is the reason why we sometimes resist the rest, because we don't want to face those shadows, those aspects of ourselves that are underneath the things that we do to push them down. And so you start noticing what your busyness was covering, maybe a belief that is deeper of not believing in yourself. So when you take time to rest is when your wisdom is actually arriving. What surfaces in rest is what was actually already asking to be seen. But because of you being so busy, you couldn't access that part. I love to see it like this. A seed under the soil doesn't panic because nothing visible is happening on the surface, right? It doesn't assume that growth has stopped. Instead, it knows that the roots are growing underneath the surface, that it is invisible, it is in the dark, nobody is seeing it, but things are happening underneath. For example, underneath the surface, it is growing roots to create a solid foundation. And many seasons of our life are like that. While nothing seems to happen on the outside, within, so many things are aligning. Inside, our system is actually preparing for what is coming next. A beautiful example of this in my life is that on the process of creating this YouTube channel, there have been phases where I needed to take time out to rest, right? So it seems like each year I had that period where I stopped creating in order to recharge myself. There will be those phases of self-doubt where you think my work is not good enough and this is why the growth is not coming. But maybe you are just growing roots and creating your foundation first, right? In order to have a work that you can build upon that solid foundation. Mental health, physical health, spiritual health, right? It's not about sacrificing all of that just to create some videos because I was over editing and not sleeping and not eating well. I stopped in order to recreate new routines that help me to actually do both at the same time, create in a more flowy way to allow myself to nurture myself, to take care of myself at a deeper level. I am creating a course called Embody Your Feminine Energy. I would love for you to tell me, if you were taking a cup of tea with me, what are the two most important questions that are burning you to ask me about embodying your feminine energy? Alright, gorgeous, if you feel called to finally have that emotional stability and to lead yourself from within in order to attract with ease, then Embody Your Feminine Energy is for you. I put everything below. It is a choice to take care of yourself. It is also a choice to go to the next level and beautify yourself. Just as some people will say, I don't have time to do works in the forest or to rest, right? It's the same how you can say, I don't have time to wear my lipstick or my lip gloss or to put some nail polish. Both are right. So instead of focusing on the effort, on doing more actions and forgetting ourselves in the process, why not turn that around and start taking care of ourselves again at a deeper level, but also just to beautify ourselves and to enjoy life more. And this is the perfect segue to our next point, that is, your nervous system and your body often knows long before your mind understands what is happening. So in my case, it was my body that started showing me signs that there were deficiencies, for example, right? Long before my mind understood I am overdoing it, I am working too hard, I am not respecting my health, my sleep, my eating habits. So sometimes your body knows that a season is ending before your mind does. That's why you sometimes feel so tired and you cannot explain it. You lose appetite for forcing things, and certain things that used to energize you don't energize you the same way they did, because part of you is already detaching from what no longer works. Just like leaves loosen up before they fall, most of the time your nervous system and your body knows before your thoughts catch up. But most people resist this. Instead, they judge themselves. So they start thinking, why am I tired? I should be able to push through this. And they start forcing. Although it is a sign of their nervous system, of their body to say, we need to re-equilibrate things. We need some integration. We need some recalibration. We need to go back into alignment. There have been moments when I thought, I need to do more. I need to solve this now. And instead, I stopped and I go outside. I let the sun touch my skin. And from that place, clarity returns. I start feeling softer. And clarity doesn't come from me forcing to get that clarity, but it comes from me relaxing more, resting, and enjoying what is around me. Okay, the next point that I want to share with you is what surprises you after rest. I will give you some example with this. People often think that for anything to mean something, it has to be dramatic, right? It has to be something big and huge, but it's not the case. Sometimes it will be the smaller shift that you will see, maybe a conversation, maybe a new idea, maybe it's clarity that returns, maybe a decision that seems to be hard that suddenly feels so easy, maybe a feeling that you are more healed deeply instead of being stuck in the past where the self-doubt and the limiting belief are holding you back. Suddenly you feel some clarity, you feel some ease in being yourself, in being more authentic. So I'll give you some small example with this. One day I was just relaxing and I saw a shift in my YouTube channel. One new subscriber for my channel is something that doesn't happen that regularly. So I'm like, wow, interesting. The energy has shifted and is starting to be visible on the outside. The next day, me continuing to rest, I got 2 subscribers in the same day. And when something like that happened, I noticed that my body felt that mentally I was already shifting into that tightened space, like being shocked. What? 2 subscribers in the same day? And another subscriber yesterday, so it's like 3 in less than 2 days. And so my body and my mind together started regulating back again into safe receiving. Because sometimes you want something, but when it actually happens, you tighten and you feel like, oh, it is a shock that this is happening. Instead, resting allows you to cultivate a state when you feel like it is normal for this to happen to me, right? And I could normalize that frequency and be able to receive those new subscribers, to send them blessings. By the way, welcome to all my new subscribers, and I love you all, including my existing subscriber and you who are just watching this video. Please consider subscribing if you haven't yet. So if life feels heavy right now, here's one thing that I propose that you do. Give yourself 1 hour, or maybe one evening, or maybe one morning, or maybe one full day. It can be one weekend, 1 week, 1 month, where you just decide that you will rest more, that your objective is to reconnect with yourself within, to realign with who you truly are, with what you really want, and from that place to see what will unfold. What will unfold might surprise you. I had another example where in my mailbox, some opportunity came back to me after maybe 3 years of not hearing anything back from those people. Suddenly, I got a new opportunity because I am in a rested state. So when you take this pause, don't call yourself being behind. Don't be afraid that you will fall out. Okay, for the strategic people around us, if you want to take a pause, prepare that pause in advance if you want to. For example, prepare videos that will go consistently when you are taking that break so that it doesn't impact your consistency so much, right? And then you give yourself permission to prioritize yourself and to just come when you feel like coming for that period where you are resting, right? And ask yourself, what if it was not like something is wrong? What if things were actually happening behind the surface? What if this pause is actually a preparation for something more aligned for you? Because some chapters of our life doesn't require us to open them with force, but they open when we are soft enough to allow them to open. And rest does that exactly. It allows us to heal ourselves, to have self-care and self-love, and to soften enough in order to be able to receive creativity, opportunities, even love. So rest does not mean that life forgot you. It does not mean that nothing is happening. It might simply be the preparation for what is coming next. What follows a real pause, real rest, is generally something that you could not have acquired if you forced it. And so if today your body is asking you to rest, then listen to that and take that pause, because what happened next might really surprise you. I love you so much. Until next time, stay very inspired. I send you so much love, abundance, and infinite blessing. I love you. Mwah.